So what I'm trying to do here is, now that I've mounted the crossbars side to side and they're sticking out, what I'm doing is I'm taking this is a 5/16 by 18 pitch tap, and I'm tapping the center hole here. And the idea being that I want to run an eye bolt down the center. So this is a slightly different angle, but you can see I just about got the tap out, and you can see how much material I've got. Like if I wanted, just about, I could do a 3/8 for sure. Drill it out a little bit, tap it with the 3/8, but I don't really need anything that big. The eye bolts I've got. So let's get in there and see if you can see that a little bit better. Yeah, so you can see thread it all down through there. So I'm going to try and see if my 5/16 eye bolts fit. Alright, so let me show you what I've bought. So I've got two of these 5/16 by 3 1/4 inch. So these are longer than I actually wanted, but I think the 3 1/4 accounts for the entire length of it, not the threaded shank. It also doesn't tell you the thread pitch, but since the vast majority of them really only come in one of two, either 5/16 18 or 24 pitch, I'm guessing these are probably 24. I'll pull the tap out in a second and double check. But I bought these as well. And so the reason I bought these is if these don't work, these eye bolts are obviously bigger around, which would make it easier to hook in the tent straps. And so what I would do is I would just cut these off. I would find me a 5/16 by 18 pitch bolt, weld these to the head of the bolt, and then run the bolt in and use these as the eye bolts. So that's my backup plan. These were like 80, 90 cents each. These are like, I don't know, they're all about the same. They're less than $1 each. So let's see if these actually work. Okay, so let's see. Let's give this a try. Yeah. Perfect. Got a nice long threaded shank here. That works perfectly. So I'm going to run these as far down as I can. Okay, look at that. Okay, so now I've got both of the eye bolts threaded in and tightened down. I may come back at some point and take a couple of the plastic caps, drill the center of them out and put them in place, and then put the eye bolt on there just to dress those up a little bit to cover the ends of the extruded channels there. But the idea is that, you know, when I lift the tent up, instead of having to hook down here and here where they get in the way of the door, what I wanted was to be able to hook the straps to these eye bolts instead, and use those as the, you know, as a strap mount points. Well, that didn't work. So as I was mentioning, what I wanted to do there was use the eye bolt as a mount point for the hook on the strap, so that I didn't have any problem getting in and out of the rear door on the car. However, the problem is that as you open the tent, the awning sticks out, let's say maybe 10 inches from the side of the car. And that's further than the eye bolt sticks out from the side of the car. So what you have is a strap that goes backwards, which is not going to keep that forward. Whereas if you have the straps basically straight down, then it probably doesn't stick out 10 inches, but it sticks out a couple inches, and then you can, when you mount them down, it's still pulling it forward to a degree. Oh well, lesson learned, right? So the thing that I'm going to try and do now is I'm going to use the eye bolts. I'm going to put eye bolts on the other side too. So I can buy an awning, but kind of part of the problem with an awning is driving around with this thing on the side of the car all the time. As it is, the tent is already, giving me a hit on gas mileage. It's only about 1.5 miles or 2 miles a gallon, but it's not like this thing was got great gas mileage before. So every little bit helps at this point. I may at some point obviously want to do a real awning down the road, but not yet, I don't think. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put eye bolts on the other side. I'm going to use those as mount points for like a tarp to start with. Just use, I don't know, probably carabiners or something there, and then run off on the corners, run those down to guide poles, and on the other side, run those out to trees or I don't know, whatever. I'm going to try that first. So I think I can still use the eye bolts for something, maybe even just stringing lights on that side of the car. Who knows? But if nothing else, then this hopefully gives somebody an idea on how to use the extruded aluminum bars for something other than just sticking out and kind of being in the way. And so if you got any ideas, it'd be really cool if you want to share those, because I'm always open to ideas. Anyway, hope y'all found this somewhat useful and not an enormous waste of your time, although it probably is. Sorry.